Hey guys, and welcome to this video on how to cast a lunar return using astro.com. I really like astro.com because it's free and there's a lot of different options for chart creation. So I'm gonna go ahead and accept the cookies, privacy stuff. And I'm going to go to, I think it's free horoscopes and then extended chart selection down here. And then you can create the chart drawing of your choice. So click on that. For guest users, which I am, in some astrological information. So let's put in Alan Watts. 06 January. And that was at 6:20 a.m. So I've put in the information for Alan Watts. He was born on the 6th of January, 1915 at 6:20 a.m. in Britain in Chislehurst, England. So let's take a look at his chart. So this is going to cast his regular chart. And then we're going to, we can show his chart here. So he's a Sagittarius rising with the moon in Virgo, conjunct the 9th house cusp. So we can see his regular chart. Now we can do a lunar return by going back to the chart selection. So once we have, we're in the extended chart selection page, we're going to go down to chart type. We've seen the natal chart, so we don't want just a regular natal chart. We want to actually look at his lunar returns. We're going to have to scroll all the way down to lunar return chart. And because he's no longer with us, we're just going to leave the lunar return in the place where he was born. So let's see. So his moon, remember, is at 11 degrees of Virgo, and here we have his lunar return chart. So if he was still with us, which it says his lunar return revolution is 1,407. Wow, so that would be 1,400, over 1,400 lunar returns he would have had if he was still living. His moon is in the 12th house. He's got an opposition to the moon from Mercury and Neptune over here. And this was on April 5th of 2020. So that would have been the most recent lunar return. So this would be the lunar return that he was in terms of his lunar return cycle. So let's go back to the chart selection and we will move it forward. So we'll change the start date for April, let's say April 30th, because we'd be getting close. And we can just see his next one. Okay, that's not far enough forward. So let's take a look. If we wanted to see his next lunar return, we would change it to May. Let's do May 4th. So this would be his next lunar return. You can see that his moon is here in the 7th house. With Placidus houses, it's the house differences can be quite vast. However, you can see this is clearly a different lunar return chart. So we saw that he had the moon in the 12th on April 5th, and now on May 3rd, his next lunar return cycle begins, and his moon is in the 7th. His lunar return moon is in the 7th. So that is how you basically use astro.com for finding your lunar returns. And it's a really great website that has a lot of free information and a lot of free chart casting tools. It's not the one that I use personally because I have software on my computer. I use Time Cycles Research, which is actually unfortunately no longer available. The company has since disbanded, so that software is no longer available. But you can also, if you want to download software, you have to pay for it, but there are plenty of other good brands, such as Astro Gold or even Solar Fire. There's a lot of other softwares out there, but again, you know, they will be in the hundreds to several hundreds of dollars. So it's not necessary to invest in software at the moment, because astro.com will give you pretty much anything that you could need to get started with your lunar returns. So this is a really great way of using a free resource that actually is quite involved. I mean, you can see, if we go back to the chart selection page, you can see that there's a lot of different options for types of charts that you can cast. All of these things obviously are pretty involved in different branches of astrology, so not every astrologer is going to use all of these options. Generally speaking, it really depends on what kind of astrologer you are or what kind of astrology you practice. Generally, people kind of zero in on a particular branch or a particular type of astrology, and then there's going to be a number of these options that becomes relevant to that particular branch. But most astrologers wouldn't frequently use all of these options because they all kind of come from different kind of systems, astrological systems. So, but there's a lot of different things that you can do. They have all different kinds of horoscopes. There's a lot of different general kind of easy articles that you can read about, and it's just a really great resource to have. So this is free and it's very, very in-depth. So definitely recommend astro.com, especially as an introductory kind of I guess, platform for astrology. And that's how you cast your lunar returns. So remember, you just change the start date for the chart. If you wanted to just do a natal chart, just a regular natal chart, then you don't have to do any, like, let's make sure the start date doesn't change anything about the chart. Yeah, Sagittarius ascendant, yeah. So if you're just casting your regular natal chart, you don't have to worry about all those extra options, but once you select something like your lunar return or your solar return, let's see what his solar return looks like. We'll do the start date for May so we can just see which one he's in right now, and or that he would be, yeah, that he would have gone into on January 5th of 2020. So this would be his solar return. Which I talk about a little bit, but just a whole other area of predictive techniques. So yeah, that's how you can cast some charts with astro.com. I hope this has been useful, and definitely let me know in the comments on this page if you have any questions or feedback. Okay guys, enjoy.